Welcome. Welcome, everyone. We're going to get started here just in a couple of seconds. Welcome to the College Admissions Collaborative Highlighting Engineering and Technology Virtual College Fair. We have an incredible list of institutions for you to hear from this evening. But before I turn it over to them, I have some housekeeping items to address with you all. Number one, this is a webinar, so your camera and your microphone are off and our panelists cannot see or hear you this evening. But we know and they know you're going to have some questions for them and they want to make sure those questions get answered. So during the evening, and you don't have to wait for them to present necessarily, but use the Q&A feature at the bottom of the screen, type the question and note the college or institution that you're directing your question to so that they can answer it appropriately, and go ahead and send that question in. This is also a really fun way to look at colleges and universities. And so you're getting to see 6 great institutions in sections of 6 minutes. And within 45 minutes, you're going to have heard from them all. There's a whole nother hour of this happening this evening. There's also panels and info sessions happening tomorrow, as well as on Wednesday. So we hope that you'll sign up for additional sessions for even tonight, but also for the rest of the week. This session, along with all the other sessions that are happening this evening, will be recorded. And they're also will be available at strivescan.com/CACHET. And one more time, if you have questions, put your question in the Q&A at the bottom of the screen. Also note the college or university that you're directing your question to. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So I would love to introduce first to you, Drexel University. Take it away whenever you're ready. Christy.
Awesome. Thank you, Courtney. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Going to set my timer so I'm conscious of everyone's time. All righty. Well, hi, everyone. Thanks so much. My name is Christy Ruggieri. I'm an Associate Director of Undergraduate Admissions here at Drexel University. If you're not familiar with us, as you can see on the slide, we are a comprehensive research university. We have the R1 designated designation by the Carnegie Foundation, which means we have the highest level of research activity and funding available, just like many of my other wonderful colleagues here on this call. We also are an experiential learning leader, which means that we really value hands-on learning opportunities, and all of this happens right in the heart of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Just very briefly, like a lot of research institutions, we are on the larger side. So we have about 15,000 undergraduate students from all over the world. So I always really like to say that there's not a one-size-fits-all model when it comes to the type of student that you see at Drexel, because they are from all over the country and all over the world. We have over 80 different majors, but some that are incredibly popular for us, especially for this CACHET presentation today, are engineering, computer science. We have a fantastic art and design school that has some really interesting programs in it, such as product design, which is similar to industrial design, biological sciences. We also have a business school. We really did start as an engineering institution 125 years ago. So that is some of our flagship programming, but we've really expanded quite a bit since then. So no matter what you're interested in, I'm sure you'll find it here. What's fantastic is that, as you see, our faculty to student ratio is 10-to-1 and our average class size is 19 students. So you get all the resources of a large university, but you get the one-on-one individualized attention of a smaller school, which really allows you to have those close relationships with your classmates, of course, but even more importantly, building those wonderful mentorship relationships with our faculty. As I said, we are a hands-on learning institution, which means that we really the theory you are hearing in the classroom. So of course, some of those opportunities include STAR, which is an undergraduate research program that you can get paid to do full-time research over the summer. Study abroad is of course an option. But what I really want to highlight here is our cooperative education program. So co-op is a full-time work experience related to your major for 6 months. You will actually take a break from your coursework and you will work a full-time entry-level job related to your field. The goal of this is you can actually apply what you're learning in the classroom, because things don't always play out exactly in the real world as you expect, but you're also networking, you're learning from leaders within your industry. And what this means is that you're also going to graduate not only with a diploma, but with a resume. We are a cooperative education leader in the United States. We've been doing this for over 100 years. And so we have relationships with over 1,500 different employers around the world. Our employers are really looking to really view our students as real employees of the company. They're getting really comprehensive hands-on experiences. And typically there is also a salary that goes along with these positions of about $19,000 US. So you can really, as I said, not only are you going to get the degree, but you're going to be able to start being an employee at places like Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Johnson & Johnson, Merck, Comcast, the Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania. So there's really lots of fantastic opportunities. Over 50% of the time, our students receive a job offer by their co-op employers before they even finish. And 93% of our students are happy with their first jobs post-graduation, making 15% more above the national average. So our students are quite successful when they finish. Now, as I said, we are located right in the heart of Philadelphia. Philly is a fantastic place to go to college. There are over 250,000 university students in Philadelphia alone. So it's incredibly young, incredibly vibrant, with lots of arts and history and culture for you to take advantage of. And not only is so there's always something for you to do. We are a Division I, NCAA Division I school, so basketball is our biggest sport. We finally made March Madness this past year, which is quite exciting. But at the same time, there's lots of other things to do on campus. We have over 350 different student organizations, so I'm sure you're going to find something that you'll enjoy. But at the same time, being able to take advantage of everything that the city has to offer. We are just walking distance from City Hall, about a 20-minute walk. There are some fantastic museums. You can see the Liberty Bell. You can go to the Art Museum and take a cheesy Rocky photo. I promise you'll do that if you come to Drexel at some point. And then, of course, being on the East Coast, being in the heart of Philly, you are able to get to any city on the East Coast quite easily with something known as Megabus. So for $10, you can get to New York City, Baltimore, Boston, Washington, DC. So if you're not from the East Coast, you want to be able to also explore everything that these cities have to offer. I definitely encourage you to do so. Besides that, as I said, we really are looking for we really are a place that is looking to develop our students into leaders, innovators, and change agents. So that means that we want to give you these tangible experiences for you to start making an impact on whatever it is that you're passionate about today, and for many, many decades to come afterwards. So that's about us in a nutshell. Thank you so much for chatting and joining me for my presentation, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the schools.
Unmute, my goodness. Thanks so much to you, Christy, and Drexel University. Just a reminder, audience, don't hesitate to put those questions in the Q&A. Note the college or university that you're directing your question to, and then type out your question. So next up, I have the absolute pleasure of introducing to you Lafayette College. Matt, take it away whenever you're ready.
Awesome, Courtney. First, I need to know if Christy has actually taken that Rocky photo. Christy, have you taken that photo yourself?
I absolutely have.
Nice.
Absolutely have.
I'd love to see that. Well, if you guys fire 53 miles up the Delaware River from right where Christy is, you find Lafayette College on this gorgeous hilltop in Easton, Pennsylvania, a small city of 30,000, which is just 50-ish miles due north of Philly, about 50-ish miles due west of New York City. Here we are right on the state line between New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So I'm happy to give you a download on what Lafayette's all about. Let me see if I can share my screen here. Middle-aged guy in technology, not always awesome. Okay. So what I want to do in the 6 minutes that I have, or now 5 minutes and 12 seconds, is give you the what, the who, the why, and maybe the where a little bit of Lafayette College. And I understand that many of you have a real interest in STEM and engineering, which is mission critical for our awareness and how I talk about Lafayette, because we are distinct in the landscape of higher education. So starting with the what, Lafayette is a powerful national liberal arts college that exists well beyond the confines of an ivory tower, the way that so many liberal arts colleges are confined. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we have such power in our STEM fields. So the Department of Engineering, the Division of Engineering, which offers ABET accredited programs in biomolecular and chemical engineering, civil environmental engineering, electrical and computer engineering, and mechanical engineering, that traditional sort of set of engineering opportunities exists. And we've been doing this at Lafayette for 155 years, since before it was cool. It's very much a part of our lifeblood, part of our DNA, but it exists in the confines of a liberal arts college, which is absolutely empowering and amplifies the impact of engineering. I'll get to that in a little bit. So the WHO, we are unafraid to push our students to be original in their learning. We want our students not just to absorb knowledge, we want them to create it. So while we are designated a liberal arts college, we have this emphasis on research, on applied learning, pushing our students to have the fortitude to have questions and know how to answer them with good research, with internships, externships, and going abroad. So we want our students to, let me pop this slide up here so you get some more info, understand that their professors aren't approaching them as a student in their class, they're approaching them as a scholar in their field. And the liberal arts setting creates a real intimate opportunity for engineers to sort of get down and dirty with their learning. You know, those involved in the social sciences, the humanities, with engineering and the natural sciences. We're pushing them across the board to be original. So the what is certainly something to be aware of. And it exists in the context of a $1 billion endowment. For a school our size, sort of ridiculous when you consider the fact that we're not supporting hospitals and law schools and PhD programs. It's all undergraduate focused here. So the average class size is less than 20 students. The student faculty ratio of 10-to-1, I think, really empowers our students to understand that they have access to teaching scholars and professor mentors. And when it comes to studying in the STEM fields, the natural sciences and engineering, you're getting more hands-on opportunity to actually do the work. You know, in our mind, engineering, it's not about stuff, it's about people and humanity. We want our engineers to develop the skills and abilities across a liberal arts setting where you know how to communicate beautifully, how to think critically, how to see connections between things. Sometimes people call those the softer skills. Well, that's how you empower leaders within the STEM fields to know how to sort of manage teams of scientists and engineers as opposed to being, you know, one of a number. So that's important certainly to be aware of. So that's the what we are. The who we are also is distinct and compelling. And I'd be remiss if I didn't spend a little bit of time here, knowing that I am limited. We honor our namesake each and every day. And I'm hoping you all have a sense of who Marquis de Lafayette was, and not because of a hit Broadway musical, but because he was about a year or two older than most of you. You know, if you arrive in the space as a 17-ish, 18-ish year old young person looking at college opportunity, our namesake was 19 when he defied the wishes of King Louis XVI and sailed across the Atlantic Ocean and charged into a cause that wasn't his. The American Revolution was not about this French nobleman, but he made it about him and his vision for a more just, equitable world. So he, again, with absolute fearlessness and a willingness to take action to benefit others. And that's what we call wisdom, using your smarts and talents to benefit other people. He soldiered into the revolution, became an absolute hero of it. Whenever I need to be inspired, I love rolling up into our archives, which over here in our Skillman Library and part of our campus, I love rolling up there and reading the original letters that were passed between Washington and Lafayette. I held these documents in my hand. And it's so clear to me that our namesake was an early abolitionist. He was an early suffragist. He was, again, a man for others and way ahead of his time, and an absolute idealist of the highest order, who rallied around his motto, it was Latin, Carnon, which means why not? In our mind, the spirit of why not pushes our professors and our students to recognize that anything is possible, anything's possible, but it's on you to bring the interest, to bring the energy, to bring that willingness to take action, to make it, the proverbial it, happen, not just for your own good, but for the good of the world and the good of humanity. So across the disciplines, those 4 divisions, the natural sciences, social sciences, humanities, and engineering, across those divisions, there's 52 departments and programs where our students have significant opportunity to take deep dives into their interests. And I value the fact that our students are unafraid of pulling disciplines together. So I'm not going to talk to you specifically about all of them, but I do want to focus in on engineering, given the interest that we have in this prospective population. Oftentimes the knowledge that's created today happens at the intersection of disciplines, not in the silos of them. So that's why one of our newest majors of integrative engineering, it's a Bachelor of Science that allows you to pull disciplines together with a focus on bioengineering, on energy and the environment, on robotics. I know I have 12 seconds left as Courtney has popped into the mix here, But in the end, it pays significant dividends. You know, all of these colleges are wonderful investments to be made. And at Lafayette, our investment pays off significantly. So here's some information there. I want to put a quick plug in for those who want to hear directly from our Director of Engineering on Wednesday. He'll give you a much deeper dive into our reality in that space on Wednesday afternoon. So with that, Courtney, I think my time is up.
Thank you so much, Matt. Man, that 6 minutes goes by fast, doesn't it?
Really quick, no doubt.
Thanks so much to you and to Lafayette College. Next up, you have the opportunity to hear from Carnegie Mellon University. Take it away, Ben, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, thanks a lot. My name is Ben. I'm an assistant director of mission here at Carnegie Mellon. I'm going to share my screen here really quick. And all right, so if you're not familiar with Carnegie Mellon, we are kind of a medium-sized private institution located in Pittsburgh, PA. So we're about 5 miles from the center of downtown Pittsburgh. So we do have a 150-acre campus, so a lot of room for students kind of to get that green campus feel, but still have all the access to the city that they really want. Our university ID acts as a free public transit pass in Pittsburgh, so you can get around the city very easily. On campus, this page here that I'm sharing, it gives you just kind of a snapshot of this specifically is of our first year class for this fall 2021 year, but it's pretty representative of what a typical first year class will look like. So this kind of gives you an idea of where students are coming from, how they're identifying, and just kind of, you know, again, just in general, what that class will look like. Overall, we have about 6,500 undergraduate students, so we're kind of in that medium size range, and we have a official student to faculty ratio of 6 to 1, 7 to 1, somewhere in that neighborhood. But a little over 2/3 of the classes you would take throughout your time at Carnegie Mellon are going to have 20 or fewer students. So definitely going to get, you know, ample opportunity to get to know your faculty members well and really engage with them in an intimate way, which many of our students take advantage of, certainly. So we have 6 academic colleges and schools at Carnegie Mellon. I'll zoom in a bit here and go through these briefly while focusing on a few specifically, obviously. So the academic structure at Carnegie Mellon, again, is that we have these 6 academic colleges and schools. We don't have a core curriculum that's the same across the entire university or like a gen ed core or anything like that. Each individual college or school will create their own core curriculum. So you dive right into the coursework in your major right away, immediately. And that's just kind of how that general structure is set up. So in our College of Engineering, you can see here the different majors that are offered under engineering. So we have chemical, civil, environmental, electrical and computer, material science and engineering, and mechanical engineering as our primary majors. We also have additional majors in biomedical engineering and engineering and public policy. What an additional major is at Carnegie Mellon just means that you can't come and just major in that. It has to be tacked on with one of our other primary majors in the College of Engineering, but quite a wide variety there to choose from. Students in the College of Engineering actually don't formally declare that major until the end of their first year. So if you know you want to be an engineer, but you're not quite sure what kind exactly, you do have time to kind of sort that out and take exploratory courses across the board. Curriculum-wise in engineering, very hands-on. Our engineering students are spending a great deal of time in our maker spaces and really kind of getting their hands dirty, so to speak. The curriculum is specifically designed around the input that we get from our partners that are out in the industry. So they're telling us exactly what they want our engineering students to be able to do upon graduation and the skills that they want our students to have. And that's what the curriculum is designed directly around. We also have a College of Fine Arts, so 5 schools here, just kind of quick hits here, just again, based on kind of the interest that we have for the presentation today. But we have 3 in the visual arts, architecture, art and design, and then 2 in the performing arts, which are drama and music. The only thing really I'll touch on right at this point about our College of Fine Arts is that if these are things that you're involved in high school and you want to continue with, or it's something you want to try in college, we have options for students who are not academically in the College of Fine Arts to be able to be on stage in productions or taking part in ensembles, things like that. So you definitely can explore that if you'd like to. Next is our Dietrich College of Humanities and Social Sciences. This is where you'll see the largest number of majors and minors offered. There's over 60, and they will cover kind of the typical liberal arts or humanities type programs, things like English, history, philosophy, things like that. But we do have some pretty unique quantitative programs here as well, logic and computation, statistics and machine learning. So there's a pretty wide breadth here. So definitely a lot of options for students in our teacher college. Our Mellon College of Science is where you'll find the pure and natural sciences. So things like biology, chemistry, physics, as well as mathematics. And then our School of Computer Science, you can see the majors offered here: artificial intelligence, computer science, computational biology, human computer interaction, and robotics. We've been on the leading edge of computer science for a really long time. That's definitely still the case. Our AI program is actually the first standalone AI program in North America. And the CMU approach to computer science is actually quite a bit different. I don't unfortunately have a lot of time to like go into detail about it, but our computer science program is focused more on like the theoretical side of computer science. It's a lot of highly theoretical math. And those students aren't dealing very much at all with any like practical application of computer science principles. We do have a program for that. That's our information systems program, which is one of our interdepartmental majors. And that program is going to pull from the School of Computer Science, from our Tepper School of Business, a variety of different areas around campus to create that interdepartmental major. And that's really what's for the student who's interested in that like practical application or wants to hit the ground running with coding, programming, web development, all that sort of thing right away. And then wrapping up, we just have our Tepper School of Business, which you can see has quite a few different options in terms of concentrations there. Overall, the last thing I'll say is Carnegie Mellon is a very interdisciplinary place. So it's really easy to take coursework in other colleges and potentially double major, major and minor, that kind of thing. And we're really interested in students who are interested in that collaboration and interdisciplinary study. So that's all for me. Feel free to drop any questions in the comment or in the Q&A, and then I'll also add my email address to the chat. Thanks.
Ben, thank you so much to you and Carnegie Mellon University. Our panelists are really busy behind the scenes checking all of your questions. And as Ben mentioned, it might be that they're not able to get to all of your questions, but they will be putting their contact information in the chat feature as well. So next up, I have the opportunity of introducing to you Case Western Reserve University. Take it away whenever you're ready. And you might still be on mute, Gabby.
All right. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Gabby Valentine. I'm with Case Western Reserve University. We are located in Cleveland, Ohio. We are right on Lake Erie. And when we say we are in Cleveland, we really mean it. We're about 5 miles from downtown Cleveland. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But that is where we are. We are smack dab in the middle of Northeast Ohio. And it is a beautiful fall evening now here. So I'm so excited to be sharing about Case Western Reserve University with you. And if there's one thing you take away from listening to me this evening, it's that we're a place where you are able to think beyond the possible, and also that it's not about what you can do, it's a matter of what you will do. And that's a very intentional thing that we give our students access to, and it really starts from the very beginning. So what I mean by that is that we have a single door admission policy. That means that when you're applying to Case Western Reserve University, you are not applying to a single major, a single department, or a single college within the university. You are applying to the university as a whole. That means that you are able to take classes and explore different majors and minors and make all kinds of really cool combinations across all of our different departments and majors. And I think that that's a really great example of the way that we want our students to be curious and be ambitious in a number of different ways and make sure that they're able to fulfill all of their academic interests. So, I know that y'all are a little bit more STEM oriented, so I want to take a little bit of time to talk about some things that would really interest you. So we are also an R1 research institution, like many of our peers here this evening. However, our size is about 5,400 undergraduate students. So our students have incredible access to amazing faculty who are at the top and leading some of their research institutions and fields. Competition when it comes to building those relationships with those faculty. So we actually have an office on campus called the Support of Undergraduate Research and Creative Endeavors, which we shorten to SOURCE. Colleges love their acronyms. And our SOURCE office is dedicated just to helping undergraduate students find research opportunities, get prepared for them, and succeed within them. And I think that that's something that's really unique about our institution. Also, 99% of our students are learning by doing in some capacity, whether that be research, community engaged learning, internships, co-ops, you name it, our students are involved in it and they're getting hands-on experience both in the classroom and outside of it. One thing that we've just started piloting recently that will go into full effect this coming fall is that our engineering programs, across every single engineering program, we have a program for first-year students to really explore whether they're not sure if they're interested in chemical engineering or biomedical engineering, or maybe they know they want to do engineering, but they just don't even know where to begin on that. We have a course designated to helping first-year students get their hands into all different types of engineering and STEM fields to really get a feel for what might fit their interests best. Our students are doing really high level research very early on. A great example of this is Chris Carr, who you see here in this photo. He actually helped to discover a galaxy alongside one of his professors while they were studying at Kitt Peak National Observatory in Arizona. And because of that, he actually got to interview Neil deGrasse Tyson on his radio show. So you'll find that about our students too, is that they're really passionate about the things that they do, and the things that they do are really diverse and wide reaching. So not only was Chris Carr a double major in physics and astronomy, he also had a radio show, and that was completely encouraged and totally okay. And so let's talk a little bit more about that hands-on learning experience. We do offer service learning. We have, like I said, those research opportunities that go even beyond the lab. So maybe you're somebody who's interested in the STEM fields, but also the humanities. We have the Baker Nord Center for the Humanities, which allows for funding for humanities-based research, as well as something called Humanities at Work, where students are able to get funding to do those unpaid research and internship opportunities. Clinicals, maybe you're more interested in nursing. We have a direct nursing route, and our students get nearly double the national average in clinical nursing hours, and those are done at the University Hospital and Cleveland Clinic networks. And that's the same for our students who are interested in research and volunteering. They're volunteering at some of the best medical institutions in the nation and in the world. We're also a hub for entrepreneurship. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later when I talk about the Think Box, but it's important to note that our students are building their businesses, building their ideas before they even graduate. And part of that is also building their work experience through co-ops. About a third of our engineering students do co-ops. Almost all of them are paid. And about half of those leave with full-time job offers by the time that they leave their co-op opportunity. We also have an office on campus dedicated to helping our students find internships and job and alumni connections while they're a student and even after they graduate. And we also allow for study abroad, which can be something that's can be really difficult when you're in the hard sciences sometimes. And we want to make sure that our students have that experience of being able to go on international trips and be abroad no matter what their major is. So let's talk about ThinkBox. I think this is something that will really interest y'all. We have the largest open access makerspace at any university in the nation. 7 stories, 50,000 square feet of pure makerspace. If you name it, we probably have it. When it comes to machines, we have state-of-the-art machines when it comes to 3D printing. Not only do we have those cool little box ones, about 32 of those, we also have industrial-sized 3D printers. We have metal printers, metal cutters, a welding studio. We also have collaborative spaces there as well. And any student of any major and in any year can utilize our ThinkBox. So if you have an idea, you don't have to wait for a class to go and do it. You can actually go in, build it yourself, work on that prototype. And we also have the support to help you build the business around it as well. So we have an IP venture clinic to help you get that patent, as well as a LaunchNet to help you build the business around it. And so I think for students who are interested in innovation and building, that's something I really want to highlight when it comes to Case Western Reserve University. It's not what you can do, it's what you will do. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Courtney.
Thanks so much, Gabby, to you and Case Western Reserve University. Wow, we've heard from some really great presenters, but we still have several to go. So next up, I have the opportunity of introducing to you Rice University. Take it away whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Kathleen Anthony, and I'm an admission counselor here at Rice. And I'm excited to spend these next 6 minutes with you talking about academics and research, talking about our residential college system, the city of Houston, where we're located, financial aid, and of course, some outcomes for our students. So here at Rice, we are made up of 7 undergraduate schools of study, those being architecture, business, engineering, humanities, music, natural sciences, and social sciences. I imagine that the vast majority of y'all are interested in engineering and natural science, but you're able to have up to 3 majors across those schools of study. About 40% of our students do end up double or triple majoring. When you apply to Rice, you are going to name one of those schools of study that interests you the most, but you're not applying for admission to that school of study specifically. We really just want to know what you're interested in academically. We also offer pre-professional advising tracks, and those can be paired with almost any major. So if you're interested in a career in healthcare, you want an engineering degree, but then you also want to be a lawyer, maybe you're interested in a secondary teaching certificate, you have opportunities to pursue those tracks to have world-class advising alongside completing your major courses. Flexible distribution requirements are a happy medium between no requirements at all and a core curriculum, and they ensure that you can dive directly into your major in your first year. How that works is that you take 3 courses in the humanities, 3 in the social sciences, and 3 in the natural or applied sciences, and then 1 writing and communications course. What you take and when you take them is entirely up to you. And we have an impressive student to faculty ratio of 6:1, and our median class size is around 14 students. Rice University is a top tier research university, which means that we're constantly producing new knowledge. We have over 45 research centers and institutions on our campus, and students can be involved in hands-on learning in any area of academic study from their very first year. More than half of our students are involved in research before they graduate. I always like to encourage our students, if you're looking at research at Rice, find out what we're researching on our websites, and you can see what our faculty are doing as well. Now, we know that your academics are an important part of your career, but we also want to make sure that you have a good time while you're here. And the Princeton Review consistently ranks Rice as #1 for best quality of life. Our residential colleges are at the core of the student life experience here. We have 11 of those, and students are randomly assigned to one the summer before their first semester at Rice, and you'll be a member of that college for all 4 years of your college career. They create really diverse communities. Each one is a microcosm of Rice as a whole, and they're all run largely by the students. They all have their own budgets. They all have their own student governments. Your college is a source of social events, anything from parties to intramural sports, but they also offer academic enrichment through lectures and through special courses that are designed by fellow students. Each college also has a team of diversity facilitators who are dedicated to promoting campus unity, as well as respect for diversity on our campus. You'll have faculty and staff members who live in the residential college with you, and they serve as your college magisters and resident associates. They're a wonderful support to our students throughout their 4 years. Outside of your residential college, there are still a lot of other ways for you to get involved. We have more than 280 student clubs and organizations on our campus, and they cover just about any area that you can think of, from academic to pre-professional to volunteer to performing in visual arts. If you can think of it, we probably have something like it on our campus. We also have a very robust study abroad program with programs in over 60 countries on all 7 continents, about 150 in total. No matter your major, you can study abroad here at Rice. Finally, we do compete in NCAA Division I athletics. We're part of Conference USA, and we have 14 varsity teams. If you yourself are an athlete, you can of course participate that way, but you also have the opportunity to participate at the club and intramural level. Now, we can't talk about Rice without at least mentioning the wonderful city that we call home. Unlike my colleagues, you're going to come about 1,400 miles southwest to good old Houston, Texas, which is the 4th largest and the most diverse city in the country. We have over 200 performing cultural and visual arts organizations here. We're home to the 2nd largest theater district in the United States. We're also home to NASA's Johnson Space Center. We have a really special relationship with NASA. Rice actually donated the land on which the Space Center sits, and JFK gave his moonshot speech at Rice back in 1962. For those of you who are interested in medicine or healthcare, the Texas Medical Center is the world's largest medical center. It has about 59 institutions, including 21 hospitals and 3 medical schools. It's the 8th largest business district in the United States, as well as the largest employer in the state of Texas. It is also across the street from our campus, which is a wonderful resource to those students who are looking for shadowing opportunities, volunteering, research opportunities, or maybe you just need to go to see a doctor. The TMC is a wonderful opportunity for you here in Houston. So here at Rice, we do believe that talent deserves opportunity, which is why we rolled out the Rice investment a few years ago. And it's an initiative that will make Rice a great choice for more low and middle income families across the country. So this is for our domestic students, and we do meet 100% of demonstrated need, either through the Rice investment or through other financial aid opportunities for all of our students, inclusive of international students. I always encourage you, if you're considering Rice, go to our financial aid website and check out our financial aid calculators. It'll give you a great estimate of about how much Rice might be able to contribute towards your education. Finally, just to give you a quick overview of where our students are going after Rice, they do receive excellent preparation for their futures through our academic programs, experiential learning opportunities. And you'll find that the Center for Career Development is a great resource to you as you're looking at those opportunities. And I see that Courtney is back, so I'm going to stop sharing as my time is up. But thank you so much. Look forward to answering some questions.
Kaplan, thanks so much to you and Rice University. Our final presentation tonight will be from Bucknell University. Jill, take it away whenever you're ready.
I will take it away, and I will do it without video because I can't get it to load. My bandwidth at my house is really slow tonight. So you just get me, an orange talking head. Well, welcome everybody. I want to tell you this story about Zane. Zane Patterson will graduate in 2022. He is an engineer at Bucknell University, and he developed a driving simulator that helps doctors assess whether patients with leg injuries have enough strength to resume their driving. This was created in a classroom project, and it is now being used at Geisinger Health, a big hospital about 30 minutes away in the network that we're closest to. How is Bucknell different? Bucknell is so different from all the schools that you've heard of, and in the following ways. Now we're going back to Pennsylvania. So we've been to Pennsylvania all over the place. We've been to Ohio, we went down to Houston, Texas, and now we're back. Central Pennsylvania, a rural setting, 8 state parks around us, a bike and hike trail that's over 32 miles long. We are an undergraduate focused university. We have 3 colleges, College of Arts and Sciences, Engineering, and Freeman College of Management. So if you're in the engineering program, you have 8 majors to choose from. You have unfettered access to faculty. We do not award a PhD. So you are getting complete access to research. You're bringing your ideas, you're developing your ideas, and you're engaging one-on-one with faculty. A ratio of 9-to-1, 75% of our classes have under 30 students. You're among a student body of 3,600. So you are in a very small environment where you will know your faculty and they will absolutely know you. In the College of Arts and Sciences, we have 13 Bachelor of Science degrees, anything from animal behavior to physics, neuroscience, statistics. We have special programs that are pre-college programs, Engineering Success Alliance for traditionally underrepresented students in the STEM fields. We have Grand Challenges, Garmin Guides, which is a mentoring program where you will get a 3rd or 4th year engineer as your mentor in the College of Engineering. Over 200 clubs and organizations. We are in the Patriot League with 27 Division I sports. The nice thing about being at an undergraduate focused institution is that you will always be taught by a terminally degreed professor in the field. We have no graduate students teaching on campus. So you will get to know your faculty member because they are the ones standing in front of you teaching. College of Arts and Sciences does offer over 50 majors. We have some special dual degree programs where you can be enrolled in the College of Engineering as well as Arts and Sciences, graduate with 2 bachelor's degrees and move on to a master's of science in an engineering field. More than likely, you will end up in a large city if you're from a large city. So why not try something different in a rural environment where you're going to be a known entity and not a number among tens of thousands of students? Cross-disciplinary studies, you could even minor in management or real estate if you have aspirations of doing something in a management field. You bring your ideas because you'll discover research opportunities all over campus, internship programs, 35 corporate sponsors that work with engineering. 19% of our student body, so it's about 3,600, 19% are in the College of Engineering. So individual classroom sizes, very small. Labs break down to about 20 students. Faculty, yeah, they'll help you publish a book if that's what you want to do. They will help you pay for conferences if you need and want a professional development opportunity and you're approved to present. So we have great spaces on campus. We have 3 maker spaces, well-equipped labs, a rooftop greenhouse, beautiful libraries, costume shop if you're into theater, 2 art museums, 1 on campus in the Student Union and 1 in town. Great performances. I know that there will probably be questions, or I hope there'll be questions if you're looking for something different. We are not in a major metropolitan area, but we do have access to Pittsburgh, to Philadelphia, DC, and New York. They're less than a day's drive and they're ready and waiting for you. Our students come from all over the country and all over the globe to bring a diversity of idea and opinion. Over 70% of our students are involved in some type of research. Remember, we're undergraduate only, so all of the research opportunities and internship opportunities are going to our students, not the graduate students. So that's one of the things that differentiates us from a lot of the schools here tonight. So I know that I'm a bit early and I want to give time for questions, and thank you tonight for coming. And if I can do anything, I'll plot my email address into the chat.
Jill, thanks so much to you and Bucknell University. I'd now like to invite all of our panelists to turn back on their cameras. And we have time for probably just one question this evening. So we'll go round robin in the same order that you presented originally. What is one thing that you would like students to remember about your institution? So we'll start with Drexel first. So Christy, you're up first.
Thanks, Courtney. So as I mentioned, we are a co-op school. We have been preparing our students for their postgraduate goals with a really comprehensive career development curriculum for over 100 years. In addition to having your academic advisor, you will have a career development co-op advisor. So really together, we're helping you not only learn the theory in the classroom, but set you up for your postgraduate goals. I would say it's the most important thing to remember.
Thanks for asking, Courtney. I would say, and I alluded to this quickly, how we honor our namesake. We don't let students retreat to Lafayette and build the bubble around themselves and just make it about them. We push them to understand that they count and matter right now in this moment. They shouldn't be biding their time in college. They should understand that every day counts and matters, that they have a narrative and it's their job to gain agency over it and shape it each and every day with the choices that they make. So it's pushing students to be more fearless and aggressive in how they approach life and learning. And it comes to life every day on our campus. And that's what I want to leave our guests with tonight.
Yeah, thank you. I would just say Carnegie Mellon, again, is a really interdisciplinary and collaborative place. So we're definitely interested in students who are really passionate about what they are interested in, both academically and otherwise, and who are really interested in doing work that matters, and who are interested in that collaborative process. I'll just keep it brief at that. Thank you.
Yeah, I can say for Case Western Reserve University, there are 3 words I always use to describe our students, and it's that they're curious, collaborative, and ambitious. And I think that shows that the impact that they're making, not only on campus and not only in Cleveland as their students here, but also in the world as a whole. And I think that shows through our high level of research that our undergraduate students are able to do, as well as the amazing internships and entrepreneurial endeavors that they take on.
Here at Rice, if there was one thing that I'd want you to remember, it's that you're gaining access to an incredible research university where you can do research at any point in your career. But you're also gaining access to an incredibly collaborative student body. Something that we find that our students always say is that they love working with one another and they're constantly building one another up. So having that access to incredible research, incredible classes, but also incredible peers is something that I definitely would want y'all to remember.
Jill, I think you're next.
That went by so fast. I was waiting and waiting. All right. So what to remember about Bucknell? I think this isn't my idea. This is something that a student told me the other day. The thing you should remember about Bucknell is that it is a school of A-N-D. You can do your academics and everything else that you want to do and get involved in things you never imagined you would want to do. So it's a school of and opportunities.
Awesome. And since we don't have questions or time for much more, I will just say all of these lovely professionals on the screen are here to help you through this process. And they invite your questions and curiosities and they're not scary people. They are looking to, don't rely on College Confidential or so-and-so's brother, sister's cousin that told you X, Y, or Z. Leave it to the experts, and they're happy to answer those questions. So thanks so much for joining us tonight. As you close out, there'll be a quick 5-question survey. We hope that you'll provide us with some feedback. Sign up for more sessions. Again, there's 1 whole hour left tonight. There's also individual sessions for each of these different institutions happening both tomorrow and spread over tomorrow and Wednesday night, so you can hear a whole 45 minutes on their institutions. This was recorded, and all the programs that tonight were recorded and will be at strivescan.com/CACHET. Best wishes with your college search, everyone. Goodbye. Have a good evening.